Hey, you got a comment on the Daily Bruin being caught asleep this morning and the Daily Trojan coming out and dumping all the papers and replacing them with them?
I didn't know about that. That's the first I've heard about that.
Is that just lack of quality control from the Daily Bruin beat writer?
No, I think that's typical crosstown rivalry stuff. So it was good practice. It was fun to see him come back at it. Good to see him bounce back and come out and have one of our better practices of the year, quite frankly. It was geared in and locked in, and the tempo was great, and the execution was good. So, you know, you always worry after a tough loss, a real emotional loss, you know, a loss where you have to fight to get back in at the end and don't quite get it done, how they're going to respond. And I have to say they responded like I thought they'd respond, like they'd responded all year. You know, they just came out and they went back to work and they had a good attitude and they're excited about this game. So I think we'll have a good week and we're excited about Saturday.
You talked about him briefly at Pac-12 Media Day, but what jumps off the screen about Marquise Lee, just what he does?
Well, you know, he's struggled this year because of injury. That guy is, in my opinion, having a defensive background, I've watched a lot of great receivers in my day, and he's as special as they get. You know, the guy that he reminds me most of that I've faced in the NFL is Marvin Harrison. You know, has all the attributes of a great receiver. He's fast, he's quick, he's elusive, he's acrobatic. He plays with great confidence. You know, he's always got a smile on his face when he's out there. He loves to compete. He's great at run after the catch. He can get off the bump and run. He can beat you deep. He can stop on a dime and run great routes. He's a great football player.
From the recent film you looked at of him, does he look still a little bit limited with the injuries?
Well, I think that, you know, anytime you play that position and you have some, you know, lower body issues, it affects you, but he's a guy that fights through it. You know, I have a lot of respect for his toughness too. And you can tell that he's not 100% healthy, but that doesn't mean a lot when you're talking about Marquise Lee. I mean, this guy is, you know, I think he's one of the best in the country. Last year I thought he was the best in the country, and I have no reason to say he's not this year either. You know, maybe his production, his numbers aren't up, but that's just because of the amount that he's played.
You talked a few times this year about this team just being, you know, 1-2 steps away from taking that, you know, games to that next level. What do you need to see, like in these next 2 games, that would let you know that your guys are closer to getting to that level than you were, say, on Saturday?
We're very close. I mean, it's quite simple. It's experience. You know, I mean, we are an incredibly young football team, and every time that we fight our butts off and get a win, we learn something. Every time we get in a battle like we did on Saturday and we fight back, we come up short, we learn something about ourselves. And I mean, we're taking the next level. I mean, we're moving up the mountain. It's just, you know, we gotta get older. We gotta get more mature, you know. And that's a process. You know, there's no magical formula. There's no fairy dust you can sprinkle on a freshman and say, okay, now you're a junior. You know, unless someone else has it and I just don't know about it. You know.
They're working on it.
Are they?
Yeah, they got a team.
Yeah.
Scientists.
What have you seen from SC under Bergeron since he took over?
Enthusiasm and passion. Looks like they're having a lot of fun playing football. Confidence. He gave them a real spark. You know, he really did. He gave them a real spark. I think, you know, when you come into a situation like that where you're an interim coach and, you know, the likelihood of you being retained, at least from the outside perception, and who knows what's going on over there, you know, it frees you up to really go after it. But, you know, Coach O, I think everybody who knows him knows he's just got an infectious personality. And you see it in the way his team plays. He's done. Hey, look, I'm just going to tell you, you know, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this. I voted for him for Pac-12 Coach of the Year last night. That's what I think the job. That's what kind of job I think he's done.
Have you seen a shift?
Hold on. Did I say Pac-10?
No, you said
Did I say Pac-12?
Yeah. We would have called you on that.
Yeah, I voted Coach O for Pac-12 Coach of the Year. I think he's very deserving of it.
Have you seen a tactical shift? Has there been that much?
No, not a lot. I mean, a little bit, you know, a little more 4-man line on defense, less 3-man line. But it's more just the confidence that they're playing with, you know, and the enthusiasm, and you see the passion for the game when they play. And I think it's just a great credit to Coach O.
What are some memories that you have of this rivalry? I mean, you grew up in this conference a little bit when your dad was coaching. What are some of your earliest memories of it?
Well, I remember being on the sidelines when Wendell Tyler was playing, and you know, my memories were mostly of playing in the Coliseum, both teams in their home uniforms. So this game's going to take me back to when I was 11 or 12, which was the last time that I think I was. Well, it was definitely the last time I was in the Coliseum for USC-UCLA game. You know,
Who won that day?
USC won that day, I believe. You guys would know better than I was. I was 11 or 12 years old, but it was a long time ago. It's like 25 years ago.
Were you wearing USC gear?
No, my dad was coaching at UCLA then, so.
25 years ago, that's going to slip by.
No, almost did.
People ask if you're continuing that tradition with the home versus home. Are you doing
home
that?
and home? Yeah, I think it's a great tradition. You know, I think it's colorful. I think it accentuates the pageantry and the tradition of this game, and I think it's what we should do. You know, and I'm glad that before I got here, whomever decided to do it, decided to do it. I think it's great. It's what I remember most about, you know, when I was a kid watching the game is the uniforms at the Coliseum.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.